Recognize this break room? I've done a video in here once before. So we're going to start on page 1, Genesis 1. How's that sound? Sound good? Alright, so Genesis 1. God made a whole bunch of stuff. He made man, all the animals. He just said it with his words. And he made man. The man screwed up. Let's see. Here's page 1. Right, so there's the first page. There's the second page. And on the bottom of the second page, right there, follow man. So, didn't even get through 2 pages, and man's already screwed up. So Adam and Eve, God gave them this beautiful garden, most awesomest place on earth. They were naked and unashamed. Life was good. They had all the food they could ever want. There was no pain. Adam didn't have to work hard. The food just grew on its own. And God gave one rule: don't eat that one tree out of all these thousands and thousands of trees. And they blew it. They ate that tree. So then sin entered the world, and then Adam's kids, Cain killed Abel, and things got horrible. And I am kind of skipping around because I want to get down to those points in the Bible, like Genesis chapter 12, I think, and then Genesis chapter 5, where the Lord blows all the world down and comes and deals with just one guy. Alright, so God comes and he comes and just deals with one man that he's found that is righteous. And today it's Noah. And there, here in a little bit, I think it's Genesis 12, he decides just to deal with one man named Abraham. Alright? So, today we're going to talk about Noah. So, let's see here. 6, 5. The Lord saw. This is the world after sin entered the world. Those people kept having kids, and those kids had kids, those kids had kids. And he said, my spirit will not contend with man forever. Alright? And he said, the Lord saw how great man's wickedness on the earth had become, and that every inclination of their thoughts and their heart was only evil all the time. All they thought about was doing bad stuff. Everything that was in their heart was about doing bad stuff. And the whole earth the Lord was grieved that he had made man on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. So God can feel pain. It's kind of weird, because I would always think pain was like a bad thing, right? Interesting. It's right there. The Lord felt pain. His heart was filled with pain. So the Lord said, I will wipe mankind whom I have created from the face of the earth, men and animals, creatures that move along the ground, the birds of the air, for I am grieved that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Alright? So there's one guy in the whole world that's doing stuff right. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time. And here is the verse that the preacher's going to get up and preach. You ready? And he walked with God. Alright? So I want to be that guy that day by day, hour by hour, it's me and the Lord. And God's in charge, and I'm doing what he tells me to. And I walk alongside of him. I walk behind him. He leads the way. I want so badly to be a godly man, and for people to say of me that he walked with God. And that no one would say that all my heart and my inclinations of my heart were evil all the time, but that everything about my heart was to try to love Jesus and serve Jesus. So Noah, he's a hero, good guy. So the Lord called Noah and he told him, basically, y'all guys know the story. He said, you're going to get all the animals together. I'm going to destroy the world. You got to make this ark. He gave him all the measurements. You can make this big, gigantic boat. You're going to put all these animals in there. And he gives this big, long list of how to do it. Put a door in the side of the ark. Make middle, lower, upper decks. I'm bringing floodwaters on the earth to destroy all of everything living under heaven. And he says, but I'm going to establish my covenant with you. And you're going to enter the ark. You and your sons and your wives and your sons' wives with you. You're to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, right? So they can make more. All right? 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal. And you are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. So, I don't know if you guys realize the totality of this job, how hard this job was going to be. So, later, it says something that I found is interesting. It said, male and female, they came to Noah, okay? So, I always had this idea it'd be a really cool video game to have Noah have to go out and trap all the animals and bring them to the ark. And like, the first level he's just getting ants and flies, and the second level he was getting dogs, and the third level he was getting something harder like, fish out of Lake Athens or something really hard. And at the end he was going to be getting lions and tigers, something really hard. But the Bible says that all the animals came to him, right? So, not too hard, right? He builds a big boat, they all come to him. But yes, really totally hard, because he had to get every kind of food that every single one of those animals was going to eat and get it in the ark. And it's not like they're going to be in the ark for 2 or 3 days. They were literally in the ark for almost a whole year. So he had to get all this food, and he had to get food for them and for the animals. All right, it's interesting. They had to get 2 of all the different kinds of animals, but if they were a clean animal, which would be like an animal that's okay to eat, they had to get 7 of male and female. Why do y'all think that would be? So they could have a barbecue on Sundays, right? They're going to eat some of those animals, probably. So, then the Lord came. Alright, so God gave him that big deal to do, and verse 22 says, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Noah's a good guy, man. He did exactly what God said, exactly like God said it to do it. And then later on is, he said, and also 7 of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep various kinds alive throughout the earth. Alright, so he went and got all those, and it says again, and Noah did all the Lord commanded. So, really doing everything exactly the way God tells him to, making the boat and everything. So it started pairs of clean and unclean animals. They all came to Noah, entered the ark, and on that day, all the springs of the great depths burst forth, the floodgates of heavens were opened. So they had all the animals with them. I'm missing the part. Anyways, the Lord closed the door. I can't find it. But the Lord closed the door. Okay? And it rained, and it rained, and it rained for how long? 40 days, 40 nights. And just so you don't think that maybe somebody was able to outsmart God and just get on the tallest mountain and just climb as high as they could, the Bible says that what the Lord did is he made it go exactly 20 feet over the highest mountain. So if you're able to get to the top of the highest mountain, you still were sunk, because it went 20 feet above the tallest mountain. Then it took like 150 days for all the water to eventually recede, and then it took weeks and weeks and weeks for the ground to start drying out. And then Noah sent out a raven, and it went and it flew. I might be getting this a little out of order. After 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark. He sent out a raven. It kept flying back and forth. It came back. And then he sent out a dove, and it kept flying back and forth, and it came back. And then he sent out another dove, and it brought back an olive leaf. And then he sent out another dove, and it never came back. So he knew it was time they could get out. So then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and all the creatures." So Noah came out, and I cannot imagine the ceremony that happened when they got on the ground. They were probably kissing the dirt, rolling around in the dirt. Oh, land. Oh, after they'd been in that ark with all those smelly animals for like a whole year. And then the Lord made a promise, made a covenant with Noah, and said, "I will never destroy all of mankind and all the animals again. And I have set my rainbow in the clouds. It will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth, that I will never flood the earth again with water." There it is. So the Lord boiled down and took care of Noah. So we're going to do one more story, and then we're going to talk about Abraham. And then it gets good. Love you guys. Good night.